Welcome to another class on computer networking. In this section, we will see frequency domain representation of signals. So far in the previous section, we have represented signal by plotting amplitude versus time. This is called the time domain representation. In time domain representation, we have time on the x-axis and voltage on the y-axis. It's seen, the signal is seen or analyzed in a time perspective, that is what happens to the signal at each instant of time. What happens to the signal, that is called time domain representation. It has some limitations while using in the analysis of communication systems, so we have another representation or another domain analysis called as the frequency domain representation. In the frequency domain, we have frequency in the x-axis and voltage along the y-axis. This is called frequency domain representation. It's a very complicated mathematical tool used in the analysis and design of communication systems. This is very much important for understanding the concepts of telecommunication. So we will see some simple overview only, or some classical approach. We will not touch the mathematical approach here. We will see what is frequency domain representation as a whole in a classical approach. Frequency domain representation means, the idea behind frequency domain is that any signal can be represented as a sum of sinusoidal waveforms. Any shape can be represented as a sum of sinusoidal shapes. That is it has some we have some mathematical tools by which we can represent any voltage or any signal shape into sum of sinusoidal waveforms. So individual waves, such as individual waves obtained, are called as the components, just as the vector component. We might have seen vector. A vector is like this. It will have a component on the x-axis, it will have a component on the y-axis. Both of this added together, this is x-axis component, this is y-axis component, both of them added together, we will get the resultant or the actual vector. In the similar fashion, any waveform can be represented as a sum of combination of sine waves. The individual sine waves are called components, and the resultant signal is called the main signal is called the composite signal. This plot of amplitude of component with their frequency on the x-axis is called frequency spectrum. Suppose we have two components, one wave shape we have given, it has two components, one at f and one at 2f. Two components are there, then this is the frequency domain representation. Such a representation indicates that the composite signal has two frequencies, they are f and 2f, two frequency sine waves. This is called frequency domain representation. Now we will see some common examples of frequency domain representation for the illustrative purpose. Take an ordinary sine wave, a simple sine wave with a frequency of 6 Hz and amplitude of 5 volt. Its frequency domain representation will be a straight line, that is a straight line parallel to y-axis, or we can say an impulse on the frequency 6, impulse on the frequency 6 with voltage or peak equal to 5. This is the frequency domain representation of a simple sine wave. Is of now used practically. Now we will see some more examples. This is a wave shape. This is a particular wave shape we obtained by combining. If we combine three sine waves, one is of frequency f, the other is of frequency 3f, this one, this blue line, this indicates a sine wave of 3f, that is, it completes, when pink one completes one cycle, this blue one will complete 3 cycles. That's why it is pink frequency is f, blue one frequency of blue one is 3f, and frequency of black one is 9f. Its amplitude is decreasing. Its amplitude is different. Amplitude of these three sine waves are different. If it is added together, we will get a wave shape like this. Or if we have a wave shape like this, in time domain, this is the time domain. Its frequency domain will be like this. This is the frequency domain representation of this particular waveform. How it is obtained? It is made into components. It has three components, f, 3f and 9f, each with amplitude like this. So it can be represented as f with a high amplitude, 3f with a less amplitude and 9f with a very small amplitude. Okay, this is the frequency domain representation. This is called composite signals and these are called components. These are called component waveforms or individual sine waves, and this is called a composite waveform. Okay, this is the frequency domain representation. Now we will see some more frequency domain examples. This waveform will be if sine plus sine 2 times. Sine 2 pi ft will be the sine wave. Sine 2 pi ft plus sine 2 times x will be a wave shape like this, and therefore its frequency domain representation will be like this. Both are having same amplitude, f and 2f. If it is added, we will get a signal like this. And if we are adding sin x plus sin 2x plus sin 3x, that is 3 frequencies each with 1 2 3 times frequency, then we will get a waveform like this. Its frequency response will be, or its frequency domain representation will be like this: f, 2f, 3f. In the reverse pattern, if we have given the spectrum only or frequency domain representation only, then we can say that this is a combination of 3 sine waves having a frequency f, 2f and 3f, and its resultant will be like this. This is another one. Its frequencies are same only, f, 2f and 3f, but individual components has different amplitudes. Individual components has different strengths or different peaks. One is having high amplitude, the other is 0.5 or half times, the other is 0.25 times of the first. If such a frequency response or frequency domain signal is given, we can find its time domain shape like this. Just add graphically these two and these three waveforms. Graphically add these three waveforms and we will get a shape like this. This is the interconnection between frequency domain and time domain. Now, all signals cannot be converted into frequency domain by using the above graphical approach. Just we have discussed, by drawing wave shapes and adding instantaneously, we cannot find the frequency domain by using those graphical approaches. So some complex mathematical tools are there, and those tools are Fourier series and Fourier transform. Fourier series and Fourier transform. What this Fourier transform and Fourier series will do? It will give a mathematical equation which indicates or which will give the component sine waves and their amplitude. That is Fourier series and Fourier transform, and they are used in two different scenarios. If the signal or if the analog signal in time domain, if it is periodic, then we will use Fourier series for finding its sinusoidal components. And if the signal is non-periodic or it is having some random shape or it is not continuous, it's a random shape, then we will use Fourier transform. Just remember these two names, Fourier series and Fourier transform. The frequency domain of Fourier series will be discrete. Just we have illustrated like this. It will be having some shapes like this. Fourier series will give discrete frequency response, or periodic signals will always have discrete frequency transform, but aperiodic signals will have continuous frequency response like this, continuous. That is, it can have any frequencies continuously from here to here. But if the signal is analog signal is periodic in time domain, it will be having discrete frequencies like this. Just remember these two factors. Fourier series is used for periodic signal and Fourier transform is used for non-periodic and band limited signals. Now some examples of frequency domains of complex waveforms. Here is a square wave with the frequency t, whose inverse will be f. It will have a frequency response or a frequency domain representation like this, or it will be the resultant of this sine wave plus this sine wave plus this sine wave plus this sine wave, etc., etc., up to infinity. As it goes rightwards, the amplitude or the significance of this component reduces, but it is still there up to infinity. That is obtained by Fourier series. This is obtained by Fourier series. Just to substitute in an equation or Fourier series equation, we will get a result like this. This is a triangular wave. It's also periodic, so we will be using Fourier series, and its frequency domain representation is like this. Frequency f, 2f, 3f, 4f, etc., etc., each with amplitude or component strength like this. Okay, and this also up to infinity, but as we go rightwards, the significance or the importance of each component reduces. This is another example. This is not a periodic signal, it is just an impulse, just a pulse, or it is not periodic, it's an aperiodic signal, and its frequency domain is obtained by Fourier transform. If we take the Fourier transform of this, we will get a representation, or we will get a waveform like this. This implies that it can have a wide range of frequencies from here to infinity, with each with amplitude like this. Okay, now what is the significance of this frequency domain representation, or what are its applications? We will see one by one. A aperiodic human voice, when it is converted to electrical, it can take any wave shape like this, random wave shape, whose pattern depends on the sound, what sound we are producing. According to that, it will have a different pattern. Whatever may be the pattern, its frequency domain we can plot as some 300 to 3300 hertz, or it will have components with a significant strength from 300 hertz to 3300 hertz. It is experimentally proven that it has a frequency response from 300 hertz to 3300 hertz. What we are making, human sound we are producing, most of us will have a bandwidth of 300 hertz from 300 hertz to 3300 hertz. It is obtained by frequency domain analysis. The implication of this analysis is that it can provide a good telephonic circuit if we allocate a bandwidth of 4 kilohertz from 0 to 4. If you are allocating a bandwidth from 0 to 4, a human voice can be easily transferred from one place to another if we are allocating a bandwidth of 4 kilohertz. That is the implication of this frequency domain analysis. That is, I will tell you once again, if human voice, aperiodic human voice, is transferred into an electrical signal, we will get a random pattern like this. This is random pattern, and this pattern will differ at each instant as we make different sounds. Its pattern will change, but whatever may be the pattern, it can be represented by a combination of sine waves ranging from 300 Hz to 3300 Hz. That is, by experimental and This is called as the frequency response or frequency domain of the signal, and its implication is that a range of frequency or a device which is capable of operating in a frequency from 0 to 4 kilohertz can be used for carrying this periodic human voice, or a minimum bandwidth of this much is required. The bandwidth is 0 to 2 kilohertz. If we are providing a bandwidth of only 0 to 2 kilohertz, this signal cannot be processed. That is a significance. If we are providing a bandwidth of 0 to 2 kilohertz, it cannot be processed, or it will be distorted. Now, frequency response of circuits or communication circuits. So many elements are used in communication system. For example, we will take a case of an amplifier. This amplifier of a gain 2 means if a sine wave is applied here, it will be amplified, or it will be doubled and will be given in the output. That is amplifier. It will be used in communication to strengthen the signal. In many stages, it will be used for strengthening the signal. Simply an amplifier of gain 2 is not the specification of amplifier. It will not complete the specification of an amplifier. We will have one more specification called its frequency response, or how it will respond to different frequencies or different frequency sine waves. How it will respond to different sine waves, that is frequency response. Okay, and it is a graph. Frequency response is a graph with frequency on the x-axis and its response or its parameter on the y-axis. For an ideal amplifier, for an ideal or theoretical amplifier, it should have a frequency response like this. Theoretical amplifier has a frequency response like this. That is, it will amplify any signal given here will be amplified and will be provided at the output theoretically, but practically it is not the case. Amplifier will be having some circuits, RNC circuits, RC parameters, resistors, capacitors, etc. It won't act uniformly across all frequencies. Some frequencies it will limit or it will not pass. Such a response is called the frequency response of the amplifier, or amplifier, how it behaves to different frequencies. Here we will take an example of a practical amplifier having a frequency response shown in like this. This means that it will give an amplification or the desired amplification from here to here only. With some margin we can take from here to here, or if a frequency in between this is given here, it will be getting amplified. Or if a frequency here, a frequency is this frequency is given to the amplifier, it will give only an amplification, less amplification only. Or if a frequency here, a huge frequency is given, it will also be amplified very less only. And if a very huge frequency is given, it will not be amplified at all. This is the significance of frequency response of circuits, and this is applicable to all circuits, not only to amplifiers. It is applicable to all communication circuits and systems. All will be having a frequency response, or it will respond to only certain frequency, certain range of frequency only, and that range is very important. That is given by frequency response. Now the same amplifier what we have told earlier, the signal also we have illustrated earlier, its frequency response is like this. Now this signal is applied to an amplifier whose gain is equal to 2 and its frequency is ranging from 0 to 5f, or it is limited to 5f. Okay, let us consider a case. Its response, this is 0 to 5f, and it will give a gain, or it has a frequency response less than 5f. If that is the case, this signal is applied. Actually, theoretically, we are expecting a result like this. The same wave shape will be amplified or doubled like this. This is what we are expecting. But we will get a result. What we are getting will be like this. This cannot be explained in any of the time domain manner, but it can be very easily explained using frequency domain. That is, this amplifier has a frequency range from 0 to 5f. That means frequencies which are very large, that is 9f, this frequency is very large than 5f. So this amplifier will not act on this frequency, or it will cut out this frequency and it will amplify only these two frequencies. That is how we are getting the signal. That is, the amplifier is band limited to 5f, so frequency components greater than 5f will be cut off by the amplifier. So the third component is cut off, and we will get the first two components added together and then amplified to form a wave shape like this, and this is the resultant wave. This can only be explained by using frequency domain. That is the significance of frequency domain analysis. Okay, now we will see bandwidth of a communication system. Bandwidth of a communication system is the range of frequency in which it is operating, or the range in which they have a flat frequency response. As I have told already, which frequencies it is designed for its optimal response. That is called bandwidth of communication system. FM radio stations, for example, will what we are calling as 93.9 and 94.3 like etc. channel names. These are actually those signals that signals accepted by the radio will be a band limited signal with the center frequency, that is 93.9, just like this. Its frequency response will be like this. Around 93 we will have a 200 kilohertz band. That channel is designed to operate between these frequencies only, whereas this channel is designed to operate in this frequency, that is 94.3, some 200 kilohertz band. This is called as the bandwidth of communication system. This also can be explained very easily if we have a knowledge of frequency domain in our mind. Similarly, another example is a single telephonic conversation. Very small classes onwards, you might have heard our audio frequencies range is from 20 Hz to 20 kHz. Now we will see what it actually means. It actually means that if a voice audible to us or hearable to us, if it is componentized or if it is made into components, that components will be within limit from 20 Hz to 20 kHz. Or if a combination is made with individual components ranging between this 20 Hz and 20 kHz, that only we can hear. The ranges above this, that is 23 or 25, it cannot be heard by human ear. That is the meaning of this 20 Hz to 20 kHz. Okay, this is 20 Hz to 20 kHz. That is how it is explained in the frequency domain. This is very complicated concept. Just have an analytical view only. The important concepts are composite signals, then individual components, frequency domain representation, Fourier series, Fourier transform, and frequency response of systems.